This is the Transformers Generations Legacy Commander Class Motormaster, the leader of the Stunticons, and he forms the body of Menasor. Oh my goodness, so happy to actually have this figure. I'd like to make a big shout out and big thanks to my buddy Fly Guy for hooking me up with this set. The guy makes awesome 6-inch or 1/12 scale figure reviews on his channel. I'll make sure to post a link in the description box below. Go check out his videos. The guy is awesome. So big thanks to Fly Guy for hooking me up with this guy. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging. So I'd like to begin by showing off the instructions for Motormaster. The instructions are actually pretty good. They're very detailed. They really are a big help in transforming this figure. And after years of giving us crappy instructions, Hasbro's finally been able to do one that's just amazing, and that would give the instructions of Takara Tomy a run for their money. Also, you will note that the instructions only show off 3 of the Stunticons for the Legacy line. So 1 of 5 Menasor is Dragstrip, 2 of 5 is Wild Rider, and 5 of 5 is Motormaster. I guess Hasbro doesn't want any spoilers, or I don't know, they don't want to show off any illustrations of Dead End and Breakdown until they've officially revealed those figures. So interesting. And here is Motormaster out of packaging and in robot mode. And I mean, come on, this figure looks absolutely amazing. I mean, sure, it's not completely G1 accurate. It's a mix of the Combiner Wars version of Motormaster as well as a little bit of G1 aesthetic, but it looks great. I love how this figure came out. You can see him here holding his G1-esque sword. It will also be the sword of Menasor in combined mode. You can see a lot of white paint highlights, some purple highlights, a lot of black plastic that's unpainted, and really just an amazing rendition of how Motormaster looked, at least how we remembered him in the cartoon. He looks absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed with this robot mode. You will also see that he's got these fake truck parts that form his feet, because if you remember back in G1, the original Motormaster toy had the front cab, the semi-cab form as feet, and then the rest of the trailer formed the body of the robot. So I thought that was a really nice touch on the part of the designers of Hasbro and Takara Tomy to put that in. Let me just give a quick look at that Motormaster head sculpt. This hood, this cowl really makes it so G1 looking. Articulation of the figure, the neck is on a swivel, waist on a swivel, arms can go in and out, forward and backward, 360. The biceps has a swivel. Hinge elbows, wrists are on swivels. The hips, legs can do the splits. You go forward and backward. You got a hinge knee and the rocker tilt for the ankles. So for comparisons in robot mode, here he is with fellow Legacy Stunticons, Dragstrip and Wild Rider. And here he is with Legacy Laser Optimus Prime and Scourge. Head to toe, he is exactly the same height as these two figures. And here he is with Earthrise or Kingdom Optimus Prime. And if you wanted a comparison with smaller figures, here he is with a Legends class figure as well as a Micromaster figure. And finally, here he is with the Combiner Wars Voyager class Motormaster. Boy, I didn't realize this figure was so much bigger than this Commander class figure. So the trailer transforms into this sort of base mode or battle station mode, I guess, for not just for Motormaster, but for the rest of the other Stunticons or Decepticons you may have. It looks okay. It feels a little bit forced. The parts are pretty solid, but the way they've been assembled is a little flimsy. And you can't lift it all in one go. You'll have to assist the sides because they easily pop off, and the whole base can easily come undone if you move it too much or if you don't transport it properly. But if it's solid on the table or on your shelf, it's pretty good. It looks okay. It looks like a sort of a gateway to the Decepticon headquarters, and you can put Motormaster on top right here. He's holding his gun, his blaster. And incidentally, this blaster also can become the blaster of Menasor as well as Motormaster's personal blaster. But it's a little too big, and I think it fits nicely, works best as a turret cannon in this battle station alt mode. Now, it may be a little bit too big for, let's say, deluxe class figures, other Stunticons, so I don't know how that's going to work out. I think perhaps this battle station might be best suited for maybe Legends class figures, if you have some, or Micromaster figures. I mean, the Micromasters, I think, would be in perfect scale for this kind of battle station. Now I can maybe put this guy here in the garage. So yeah, it kind of works. It's just like the other Commander class figures we've had. The battle station gimmick kind of works. It's a little bit unnecessary for me, but in this regard, the parts are solid. A little bit flimsy on the assembly part of the battle station mode, but it kind of works. So transformation, I think it's best we turn him first into his vehicle mode or truck mode, and then later on we'll turn him into Menasor. Okay, so first thing you want to do, you want to get rid of the weapons right here, put them off to the side. Motormaster, he's going to transform him later. Okay, and then the whole base comes apart here at the sides. You can just easily unpeg these, so when you're lifting the whole base, they tend to fall off, and then detach this piece right here. Okay, so you have these pieces. Okay, this part is going to form the lower rear end of the truck. Okay, and put that off to the side. Okay, I guess we should do these. These will form the top rear end of the truck. Okay, fold it like this. The blaster, you're going to fold it onto itself like this, tab it in. Okay, and he's going to be wedged in between these two trailer pieces. Okay, and then what you want to do is combine this piece with the initial piece we did, and that'll form the sort of rear end of the trailer. Okay, now these two pieces, okay? Start with this black piece. I'm gonna rotate this piece like that, and fold this. And the thighs, as it were, they're gonna fold up like this and lock in this thing in place, okay? Then this piece, you want to split it up like this, okay? Fold it up like this. And then this torso piece, you want to sort of nestle it in between right here. And then you want to combine and fold these panels like this. Okay. And then these pieces are going to fold this and lock in. At this point, you might want to fold down the stand, the truck stand. This part of the trailer will also house the sword. Stick it in right there and be very careful. Slide it inside and combine the last piece to form the trailer. And that's the trailer. Okay, set that off to the side. Now to transform Robot Motormaster into his truck mode. So what you want to do is you want to fold in the fists inside the forearms. Okay, you want to untab the shoulders like this, or just leave them like this for the time being. And then this whole backpack is going to swing out over here, fold up this way, and then come around this way. Okay. Now, the arms, it's a little tricky. You'll need to tab the shoulders onto the top part of the torso. That, and line up this peg right here of the forearm, which will slot into that hole in this sort of backpack that becomes the rear end of the truck. Okay, so do the same with the other arm. Make sure you tab it in, and then this one will tab in nicely. Okay, and that's going to be the rear part of the cab or the semi, and then the Menasor, the Motormaster head, is going to be underneath. Okay, all right, on to the legs. Okay, you want to unfold this panel right here, and fold that, and then fold these panels out. All right, and then these panels right here, they're going to open up like that. Now you're going to transform the fake truck bits. Okay, fold them up like this, and that'll form the real grill of the semi. Okay, and then these are going to untab, and you're going to fold, split the joint right here, split that knee joint right there. Okay, and then you're going to bring down that whole assembly to this level. Okay, and then you're going to combine the legs, I should say, to form the front part of the semi. At this point, you want to fold this whole assembly completely down. Just slot those legs in. Make sure you fold it all the way down to this level of the shoulders, the robot shoulders, and then you're going to tab these panels and lock it in. Flip out the wheels. Okay. These panels right here, the kneecaps, are going to fold and form the roof of the truck. And then finally, these panels, they are going to tab onto the top part of the hips. Like that. Tab them in, and there you have Motormaster. The front part of the truck, or the semi, the cab, done. And the trailer will have that peg right there, which you can slot onto that hitch. And there you go. There is Motormaster in his truck mode. He actually comes packaged this way. So the whole big box, he just occupies this much space in that entire box. I thought it was pretty nice, very compact. Everything will fit inside the trailer. That's a nice, solid alt mode transformation. It's pretty hefty, very heavy figure, certainly deserving of the Commander class classification. And now for comparisons in alt mode. Here he is with fellow Stunticons from the Legacy line, Dragstrip and Wild Rider. Here he is with Earthrise or Kingdom Optimus Prime. He's clearly so much bigger than Optimus Prime. Here he is with Laser Optimus Prime. Here he is with Scourge. And finally, here he is with the Combiner Wars Motormaster, comparing both their cab modes or semi-alt modes. Unfortunately, there's no way you can connect the new trailer to the old Motormaster figure. And now to transform him into Menasor, get the truck mode or the cab semi into his robot mode as a Motormaster. Now you're going to split the trailer as was in the Battle Station alt mode, split them up like this. The sword, you can take it out. And unfortunately, this piece right here, the one that forms the turret or the tower for the Battle Station mode, will not be used as a part of Menasor. And that kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping that everything will be used to form Menasor. You can still use this as sort of a gun turret for Menasor. You can put the gun... You can still put the gun right here and you can have Menasor like operate it, but it just sucks. I was kind of hoping this would be a part of the big Gestalt robot, but it's not. Okay, so these pieces, we're going to put them off to the side. We shall begin with the robot mode, okay? So the first thing you want to do, you want to fold the fists inward. The robot mode will actually form the central torso of Menasor, so you have to get it, prep it, this. And then the arms, you want to untab the shoulders, fold them out like this, and then you want to fold them like this, and then rotate like this, fold the elbows like this, and then swing out the inner shoulders, this. And these pegs right here, they're gonna peg onto those holes. So, okay, swing out the inner shoulders, and then these are gonna peg in. And moving on to the other side, you're gonna fold down the head and reveal the Menasor combined mode head sculpt. You're gonna pop it out like this. And the horns, you're gonna pop it out like that. I'm glad they're made of very stiff plastic and not soft PVC. Fold the Motormaster head and then collapse it back inward into the cavity where the Menasor head was, and then cover it up like that. And now all that's left are the legs. So what I'm gonna do is just split them up a little bit. Rotate the thighs inward. Now this one's a little tricky. You're gonna open up these panels right here. Okay. And then you're supposed to fold the knees inward like this. Just collapse the knees onto the legs, but not so much. You just need to fold them enough so that you can fold them upward like this and still have these panels collapse and close onto the legs. So I just tab it in like that. Okay, that was clear as mud. Okay, so fold the knees in, fold the panel inward like that, and then just tab it in. It looks confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty satisfying. Okay, now these the knee panels, which were originally here, you're gonna untab them and then fold them down and just close them up and cover this part right here, just to make a solid, very solid looking upper torso of Menasor. So the next thing you wanna do is this piece right here. You wanna open up the thighs and hips. Okay, you want to rotate this piece right here. And then what you want to do is you want to combine this one over here. See these round pieces right here? They're going to slot into those. That's your guide. And then this tab is going to slot into that peg hole. So if you can just do that one first, and just tab everything nice and tight. And this purple piece right here is going to lock everything in place. And the back. These panels right here, you're gonna fold up this way. And now these leg pieces right here, you wanna unfold and fold down the feet like that. These panels are going to fold up like that. And then to combine these leg pieces onto the torso, they have the Combiner Wars attachment. So if you have other Combiner Wars figures, they can actually form the legs of this Menasor. But I don't think that's such a good idea because they just adapted the combination engineering of the Combiner Wars, but really I don't think it was meant to have the Combiner Wars figures combined with this torso and all that. But you know, it's okay. It is there. The option is available. And now for the arms, you know, split the rear end of the trailer. You want to do is fold these panels down like that, and then fold down that fist. Same thing here. Fold that down like this. And then what you want to do is you want to bend this piece right here, straighten it out, tab it back in. This one is going to attach, bend, straighten out, fold these back, and that's the arm. Do the same on the other side or the other arm. Okay, same, fold like that. Now to attach, you see these pieces right here, they are going to open up and tab down like that. Open up and tab. And then these pieces right here, they are going to slot onto the shoulder. It's not a difficult slot engineering. I mean, the way it slots in, it's actually pretty cool. It's very easy and it's very solid. Okay. And there you go. There is, I guess, Motormaster in his Menasor combined mode. All that's left really is to add the other Stunticons. To combine Dragstrip, you're going to need to return this arm in its original mode, like this. And then you're going to snap the figure on, and then this particular tab right here, you can see it, this tab right here is going to push on this button right here, which will split the figure in two. Let's see if it works. So, let me, okay. And then it's supposed to, oh, okay. It's supposed to split the figure in half, just like how a magician does it. Okay, and then there you go. There's Dragstrip onto Menasor's right arm. So, okay. Not bad. Okay, so you can have the arm articulate, go forward and backward. You can go in and out. The fists are on ratchet joints. And can he hold the gun? Okay. It's the gun. Okay, he can hold that. And then for Wild Rider is one of the legs. So he's like the left leg. And like I showed in my review of Wild Rider, you can pop the windshield up. And this one goes like that. And there are some pegs right here for you to attach Wild Rider. So let me see this one. There is a notch here that closes up that leg as you attach Wild Rider. So let me see if we can do this properly. Okay, push and combine. Okay. There we go. Oh. Okay. It's a little tough, but it is possible. So let me just move the legs apart just a little bit so it will have balance. Does he have rocker tilts. Yep. All the articulation for a Generations figure. Right now you got the knee, you got a swivel for the thigh. Legs can go in and out. And then, like I said, you got the rocker tilt. Let me just open this up. Okay. And then this hand can hold the sword. Okay, so there you go. And like I said earlier, you can have the turret right here. You can put the gun right there and you can operate it. But I think this is a little bit of a disappointment that it doesn't combine anywhere in the robot mode. So, not too bad looking. Very, very impressive. I'm actually now more excited to get Dead End and Breakdown so we can complete this bad boy. Yep. No, it doesn't stay closed unless you have the piece that combines there. Yeah. Very impressive, very imposing. It's a very, very strong representation. I think it's a very good representation of Menasor. Very close to how we saw him in G1. I'm so excited to complete this combined mode. And for comparisons in combined mode, here he is with fellow Commander class Jetfire or Skyfire. And here he is with Mighty Devastator. Oh my goodness, look at the scale, the size disparity between the two. And finally, here he is with the Combiner Wars Menasor. Obviously, this one has the Perfect Effect upgrade kits. That's why he looks this way, not like the Hasbro version. And you know what? I was actually hoping he would be much bigger than him. And I thought he would be a little bit more massive than him. But looking at these two, I actually thought it was going to be an easy decision to just get rid of this one in place for this one. But he's still looking pretty good compared to him. I'm not saying that he's still better. Obviously, this one has a lot more G1 vibes to it. He looks a lot more like he did in the G1 cartoon, obviously. And that's probably the reason why he's going to be the better version of Menasor. But don't be too quick to just throw away and sell off this Combiner Wars Menasor, because looking at both of these guys, this guy still holds his ground. I mean, he's still looking pretty good, pretty massive, especially with the upgrade kits. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can put the Combiner Wars figure onto the legs of this Menasor, but I honestly wouldn't advise it. I really believe that Hasbro did not intend for this. Look at the disparity. I mean, it's just way too short for the whole body, and I think they just wanted to adopt the engineering of the Combiner Wars leg combination, but not really intended for collectors to mix and match this figure with Combiner Wars figures. And so some final thoughts on this Legacy Motormaster. I think it's a great figure. It's definitely leaps and bounds better than the Combiner Wars version in terms of G1 accuracy, engineering, details, and overall quality. Having said that, I'm not quite sure that this new Menasor can totally replace the Combiner Wars Menasor, because that figure was really massive, it was really awesome, and I guess we'll have to wait till we get all the members of the Legacy Stunticon team for us to make a final decision on whether this is the new Menasor for the Generations line. Now, with all that being said, the Motormaster figure on its own, I think, is a brilliant figure. It deserves a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this new Legacy Commander class Motormaster. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.